Good morning, everyone. This is Anne Marie. Today is Tuesday, January the 8th, and we're looking at SPY here, as we often do. Um, Last night we had little to no movement. Actually, that's really not true. What we did was pull back into baseline support. Let's have a look at this. Oops, not there. Sorry. Here, I believe. Yep. We tested the low in the ES, but held it, and have since made more lower highs. So that's a little bit negative. Let's move back to motive wave, and we will see that much prettier charts. We'll see that what we actually are doing, we're inside of the range of the group of candlesticks. So we're sort of caught, unresolved in a space. Now let's go into our 4-hour chart that we normally sit in, and we can see really we do have, this is a pivot line, we do have that congestion that we need to get out of. So what's the trade here today? All right, here's what makes trading in this particular space difficult. What's the slope of this moving average? That would be flat. The monthly VWAP, flat. So when we have flat momentum, which is what a slope essentially will tell us a bit about, right? The steepness of that slope. When we have it flat, we have essentially no momentum. And so when we have no momentum, we need to wait for resolution. If you're looking at this from a swing perspective, what you want to see is a day close underneath this current environment. So if there's a day close that comes about underneath 145.24, guess what? We are resolving out of the congestion and moving downward. Now, this is my thought because I do believe that we are hyperextended. And by that, I'm suggesting that what we need to do is take a breath, pull back in, test the base of this gap before we move to the upside. All right, so I continue to see a little bit of drift. Again, my thought is this pullback for now will only be into support because there's some more work to do to the north before we roll. Okay, so when we see this pullback, we're going to start stepping through it, and we're going to take a swing mindset of shorting action if we've got a day close underneath this level. By the same token, if we move out of here, now we've got a gap to fill right here above 146.13, into 146.48. So watch for that break because it's going to try and fill that gap. Now if it holds above here, that's going to be another opportunity for us to look long. But if it begins to fade, and you can see that on a 15-minute or a 30-minute candlestick formation, you know it's going to pull back into this range. 15-minute, 30 minutes, you're not going to be able to make trades on that unless you're looking in much smaller time frames for, a 35-cent move or something. But in essence, you get to see the strength or weakness that shows up at this level, and that's what you want to look for. If there's strength, then your mind wants to focus on this level and then this level. But if there's weakness up here, or we fail to breach and hold this range, we're going to see more downside momentum and we're going to be able to trade it. Now again, level-to-level trading is what I recommend because there's no push in one direction or another. And if there's no real heavy push in one direction or another, it means that everyone can move the price ranges pretty easily. And I don't mean everyone in the grand state. I mean very big players are going to be easily able to shift momentum to the north or to the south and move things up or down. We can't do that, so what we have to do is play level to level. Either we take it short at the very loss here and watch it fill in the gap and come into congestion, the moving average or below, or we watch it pop off of this level, come up above the VWAP, and give us a higher level so that we can go long into resistance. Other than that, If we aren't able to move that quickly, or we are too indecisive as individuals making decisions in the market, we just need to wait it out. Just sit on your hands. Wait for it to get out of this noise so that you can see what it's doing. My thought is pull back a little bit likely. But things aren't showing that yet. So just because I think that it's going to be short doesn't mean I'm going to go short. Okay? If you follow me on Twitter, I do want you to think about that. Just because I say, hey, listen, if this loses this level, looks like blah, 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 doesn't mean I'm jumping ahead and waiting for it to lose a level. And it doesn't mean as soon as it gets to the level, I'm going to take it. When it gets to the level, I am going to make a decision, but it's going to involve a current analysis of what it is that's happening. So far, I do believe that downside is where we're at. So if we lose this level, then we've got the base of the gap to contend with. Once we slip into the gap, this is the only relative area of support, and then we fall right through it. So we should have quite a cascade down if indeed we lose these levels. And I think a lot of people are a little nervous about that, but just pay attention. That's what's going to happen, in my mind.